So you're experiencing a spiritual awakening, and of course, at times when we're going through this process, things can get a little crazy and a little hectic. We're going to talk about 6 fundamental changes that you're going to notice in yourself. So if you're interested in that, then by all means, stick around. Now, I am very intrigued by myself, and also I scare myself sometimes, and you're probably in the same boat there with that. And of course, I and you and we all have to make important sacrifices and important decisions in this journey. It's not like, hell for leather, like always constant important decisions. No, most as we go through this journey will become more spontaneous. That's something we're going to talk about in a bit. But within reason, you're going to be, we'll call this number 1, really effective and strong in your energy, strong enough in your energy to be able to make the difficult decisions, those tough, life-changing decisions that are going to serve you for the best. Number 2, you are going to have more energy. Now, this is not true if you eat a load of crappy food. And I, and probably a lot of you, have a very strange relationship with food. And so if we're eating really bad quality food, you're not going to have more energy. You can do as much sadhana as you like, but if you're not having the right nutrition in the body, it's not going to support the journey after a period of time. And the more difficult the practices get, and the more high level the practices get, again, same thing's going to happen. The way that we gain more energy on this path is by doing sadhana. Sadhana just means your daily spiritual practice to level up your life, basically. And those practices, they do work. Now, if you're interested in getting involved in some practices, there's a free breathing practice down below. There's a free introduction to Hatha Yoga. If you're alone, there's a free community down below. And also the thing I'm bringing everybody's attention to is the Freedom Blueprint down below. Now, this one isn't free, it's paid. You have to invest in yourself. You have to put your commitment money up. But once you've done that, for sure, you're going to do the practices. This is for the person that's really ready to take a systematic approach, that might be lost in the journey, that might feel a little bit confused on the path. They're definitely in a transitionary moment in their life, and they're ready to see if they can shift the trajectory of their life into a new possibility. And I can tell you for free, you can, but you need sadhana to do it. Now, moving on, you can apply down below. Number 3. You're going to notice, aren't you, that fear has a big grip, and you probably already are noticing this. Fear has a huge grip over your system, and we're acting from fear a lot. And one of the big changes is this. Now, it's not easy to change this. What you have to do is go through the fear, which means you have to have enough energy in your system to be able to have the confidence to be able to do that. As soon as you push through fear, that fear lessens its grip. And all of that fear is your energy anyway. It's just in that thing that you fear. And now, when you do that thing, you take it back to yourself. And the more and more you do that, 1, the more energy you have, like the last point, and 2, the less tight that grip of fear has over you. And that's really powerful. That's why, and yeah, that's why we're aiming where we're aiming for, and that's what we're going for, freedom. And that's really powerful. You are also going to become more humble. Not like this is a goal, but you just will, as you begin to bathe in the wonder and the grace of life and the universe, and the way that it bends over backwards to try and provide things for you as and when you need it. The true definition of abundance is not the amount of money that you have in your bank account, not the amount of properties or stocks and shares that you're in. No. The true definition of abundance is this: the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. And so if we can feel into that, we're going to be feeling abundant, because you're always going to have the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Now, if we're not acting on this physical plane in a big way, then we don't need to do as many things. And so sometimes action can be a great way for us to really get out of our comfort zone and then expand the potentiality of our life, of our existence. Not that that's attached to manifestation, but we can also have an ability to bring more of life into us. But again, that's requiring quite a lot of sadhana inside of the system for that. You're also going to, very likely, engage in a career that excites you. Most of the time, we're in dead-end jobs that we absolutely hate, but that we're doing out of a fear that if I leave, things will go bad or something. And actually, I would counter that and say, things are already bad if we're in that situation. This is how we get sick. This is how we, in time, run down that natural, joyous, happy, contented beingness inside of ourselves, isn't it? By forcing ourselves to go to a job day in and day out that we absolutely hate. As we gain more awareness inside of ourselves and more self-confidence, we're more likely to take risks. Now, I'm not saying go crazy with it, although you can, but you have to take responsibility. No coming back to Jamie and saying, you said quit your job. No, I didn't. I'm just saying that it's quite likely that as you feel better inside, you're then going to drop the things that don't relate or equate to that good feeling that you now have inside. And that can be really bloody scary. But again, then that's deepening or lessening the grip that fear has over you as you step into the unknown consistently, because we love to do it, right? Still going to scare you. Regardless of how far you go on this path, the unknown is still going to frighten you. At least it does for me. I don't know, further down the line whether that changes. We'll have to find out someday. Another one. You are going to become lighter inside and, which I find really fun, more spontaneous. I spent a long time in my early childhood being not being very adventurous with my food choices. And I went on retreat one time and I said, porridge, I'm not eating porridge, yuck. And the teacher just said, Jamie, we're not asking you to love the porridge, but come on, eat the porridge, give it a go. And that started me off on this exploratory journey of sensory input in a way. And of course, part of the journey is to come away from sensory pleasures. That is certainly true. And not because we don't like sensory pleasures, we love them and we can have them, but we want to be experiencing them from the inside, the inner feeling that's more equanimous than needing sensory pleasure for my well-being. Because then we're on a bit of a basis that's a bit wobbly, isn't it? And then I'm looking to the outside world for constant happiness. I'll be happy when? I'll be happy if. This kind of thinking. That will also drop. Finally, you're going to become more comfortable leaning into silence. Probably going to look really weird on camera, that. But that time when you're, those times when you're around new people and you get really frightened, really scared, and so you just start blabbing your mouth, like to just let everybody know that you're okay, but actually it makes you look really weird, and then you recognize that you look really weird, and so you blabber more. Yeah, this is going to end. We're going to become very self-assured. And this doesn't mean mentally self-assured, because my word, for some points it was going to feel like you're going crazy. But although that mental assurity will come in time, but that takes a lot of maturity. At least in the first instance, you're going to become very assured in your beingness, which is what you are. And that's a really powerful state of being to be in, especially when it comes to, if you have this fear, talking to the opposite sex, because there's no expectation of anything from the conversation. You're just in your presence, happy to lean into silence, happy to feel whatever comes up, and then happy to respond to that in whatever way is appropriate, rather than being scared that this person doesn't like me and blabbing our mouth. That will leave. Good. There's 6, 7, 8, I don't know. I'll count them and then I'll tell you in the title. So you already know it, how many things there are here. I hope that helps. I hope these are things that you want to lose, because I must tell you, I'm much happier having lost them. So whilst there is a period at the start of our journey where it's really tough at the start, isn't it? Because we get more aware, and then we're really aware of all of our downfalls, and then we're becoming more aware of the fear and the anxiety and the depression and stuff that we've repressed for a long time. It all comes up like Pandora's box, and I get that. But once you're through that, all of these things are going to change. So here's to your powerful life. Lots of love. Namaste.